It might have been the Spanish Grand Prix, but in all honesty, I think I would have rather had the Spanish flu. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. This was certainly not a race to remember. In fact, it was one that I will try my best to forget. Just boring from start to finish. At the start of the race, initially we thought on the grid, it's going to be good, man. The grid walk, we're getting excited. Brundle's interviewing people, albeit no one relevant, but he was still there trying his best. We're looking at the grids. Oh, what tyre compounds are we going to do? Is it going to be a 3-stopper, 2-stopper? Will anybody try the 1-stopper? What tyres are we going to... Oh, medium, soft, hard. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to completely bore everybody watching this for the next hour and a half. Just a boring race that Max won. Start to finish. Never once looked like he wasn't going to win it. And Hamilton, Russell and the Mercedes were best at... Just heard a large pop in the background. Unfortunately, that was not Max Verstappen's tyres in the race. That would have been actually pretty interesting, but no, it was just a fucking controller falling on the floor. So, yeah, and my interest pretty much fell to the floor after a couple of laps. You just seen that it was going to be one of those boring-ass races where nobody was going to do anything. The only overtakes we did get were done before we even got to the braking point. I don't think the new... final turn helped this, removing the chicane. I mean, all the overtakes on the straight were literally done. There was no defending. I mean, the only person that did defend was Ocon on Alonso, and in all honesty, he probably done an illegal defence. I think he made 2 moves and moved way too late. So I appreciate Ocon. At least Ocon is a bit feisty. And he normally does create interest in racing and stuff like that, but really, really bad race. I mean, Sainz and the Ferrari just went backwards. I mean, there's me delusional, hoping that he could fight for the win against Max. That didn't he? He couldn't even fight the Mercedes.
Aye, but anyone with a brain-nosed Ferrari can't win. The tyre dig's awful.
Yeah, so he falls back. You had the Mercedes who were good, but not good enough to do anything against Max. You had Perez who, towards the end, looked a bit better, but...
Then towards the end went to shit again.
Wasn't good enough to do anything about it. He was in a race of his own. The Aston Martins... Alright, Stroll just basically had an average Stroll race. Alonso must have been carrying some sort of damage from yesterday. Really, really poor race for Alonso. But even then, in the final stint, you know, he started getting past cars. He got past Joe, he got past Shinoda, he got past Ocon. I'm convinced he could have got past Stroll, but he even radioed the team and told Stroll not to worry. I'm just trying to create some distance between me and the guys behind you. I'm not going to overtake. And, I mean, I don't know, this isn't the Alonso I know. Alonso I know would have been like, tell Stroll to move out the way or else I'm going to come through the hard way. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a case of, does it really matter if I finish 6th or 7th?
I tell you what, if Alonso felt like this Aston Martin could challenge Max to the title, he'd been taking those 2 points.
Well,
hey, what? Come on.
Obviously, I mean, does he feel that way? Of course he doesn't.
We had Shinoda would have scored a couple of points, but got dropped down outside the points after getting a penalty, a 5-second penalty. I thought was harsh. Don't think he should have got it. Could they possibly appeal it? I'm not too sure. I think Shinoda would have arguably been my driver of the day, but the fact that he now is outside the points, probably not going to give it to him.
I'm going to give it to Guan Yu Zhou.
Leclerc just had a horrible qualifying, had a horrible start to the race. We said it would get better in the second half, and I mean, it didn't really.
Well, did we? Martin Brundle said
Martin Brundle says, oh, what can Leclerc do? Can he push on in the second half of the race? No, he done absolutely nothing. So, yeah, just really, really bad. Albon, normally seems to have decent races, but he couldn't even outperform. And the worst driver of the day, Valtteri Bottas, finished 19th, I believe. And you see his teammate Joe constantly being in battles, making decent overtakes, fighting for points. And then you got Bottas who, I mean, fighting for last place.
He says he's going to purposely go slow to help Joe. No, mate, you're going slow because you're just not good enough.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, I'm going slow here to back these guys off, Joe. As he said in the radio.
Well, who was he backing off? Logan Sargent?
Exactly. No, he was backing up Albon and Magnussen, who weren't in Joe's race.
Yeah, backing up a bunch of back markers.
We had rain that was promised. It was just sweat.
Like, we can... Yeah, that was embarrassing. Russell, I can feel the rain. And a couple of laps later, pretty much confirms, it was just sweat coming in from my visor. What a shit show that was. And I mean, back to Bottas. Hamilton was gifted 4 world titles. You had Ferrari and Vettel that were doing their best to throw away the title whenever they could challenge for it. And then in his teammate, we had Bottas. I'm not saying Hamilton ain't a good driver, but Jesus Christ, Bottas is... If you can't win it, if your boss is your teammate and you can't win a world title against them, then you don't deserve to be a world champion. So simple.
To be on the grid.
Simple as that, really. Really poor race in terms of the excitement, in terms of race quality. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. Really, really poor. Easily the worst race of the season for me.
Yeah. I'm going to... You know what? Such a promising grid.
Yeah, really promising grid. And I thought yesterday showed that we could, obviously we thought Max would win, but I felt like we had a lot of people that could compete for the podium positions here.
No, it didn't help. Gasly got 6 places, took off him, which means he would have started 4th, and then Norris got damaged straight away. So the two midfield guys out the window out the door, straight away.
The 2 guys that could have potentially maybe held up the Mercs were moved to the side. So yeah, that is it, guys. That is your race review. I'm giving it a 3. What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 3 as well, because you know what? Rain in the air, mixed up grid, it's just lacklustre, man. I can accept if Max is going to dominate the race, but I mean, can everything behind it will be a bit entertaining?
I'll give my driver of the day to Joe as well, but you know what? Big shout out to Shinoda. I think Shinoda's been good this season.
He has.
And it makes you wonder, is Shinoda doing really good, or is the AlphaTauri actually pretty decent, but the Vries is pish? I mean, you wouldn't really know. Anyway, guys, speaking of pish, it was a pish race. We'll catch you for the next one, and hopefully it's better than this. European run now, coming in, all the European races. I actually like the European stint. It's my favourite part of the calendar. I think the European tracks are the best tracks.
And probably the most chance of rain.
Yeah, so...
Monaco was way better than this race, man. Even take out the rain. The fact you actually had Alonso against Max, I know, but no, it was weird. Alonso against Max, it was like 16 seconds, but you actually felt like there was jeopardy.
Here, it was about 16 seconds between Max and Lewis, and you never once felt like Lewis could do anything.
Exactly.
So it's funny how things like that happen. Anyway, guys, we're out. That was our race review. We'll catch you in the next one. Maybe driver ratings coming later on tonight. But here, spoiler alert, I'll give Valtteri Bottas a 0.
I'll give... I mean, who else? Okay. Perez... The fact Russell beat Perez and he started behind him...
I tell you what, man. I think Perez at the halfway point was on for a 0.
Yeah,
but towards the end, he did improve. So I'd say he's probably getting like a 4 or 5. But no, I mean, he was legit on a 0. He was probably neck and neck with Valtteri Bottas for shittest driver of the day. But anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Fog Racing, peace out. Make a like. Well, don't make it, just do it. Like the video, damn it. Subscribe, comment down below, and we'll catch you in the next one for more racing content, more Formula 1 content. And if there's any other racing stuff you want us to cover other than Formula 1, let us know down below. I seen some guy complaining on Eurosport Facebook page earlier about the fact that they missed out the beginning at the start of the World Superbike race. So if you want us to cover World Superbikes, let us know in the comments down below and we'll do it.
No,
we definitely
not
won't.
in a month full of Sundays, my friend.